Imagine a king who married over 100 times, built temples for himself, before building them for his gods, and stood in a battle where he was nearly killed, only to return a hero, or so he wanted the world to believe. This is no ordinary king. This is Ramesses, the Pharaoh of defiance, of statues, and of the legend that still sparks debate thousands of years later. In a time when history wasn't written in ink, but carved in stone, it wasn't easy to be born a child and then leave a mark. But Ramesses was no ordinary child. Son of King Seti I, grandson of Ramesses I, he was born with heavy blood in his veins, blood carrying the ambitions of kings and the anxieties of pharaohs. From his earliest days, the young boy was lifted onto horseback, clad in armor too big for his age, and stood beside his father on the walls, not to play, but to be trained for eternity. He hadn't yet reached 10 when his name was inscribed next to his father's in the temples, as if he were born to be seen, not forgotten. At the age of 22, he assumed power, but don't imagine a quiet coronation moment. Egypt, then, was at the peak of its expansion, the empire vast, rebellions simmering on the borders, and watchful eyes within spared no mercy for young kings. But he didn't flinch. From the first moment, his name screamed from every wall, and he ordered his statues carved in every city. It wasn't just ego, but a clear strategy. If people don't believe you, overwhelm them with your presence. And so, Ramesses became present in every corner, every temple, every stone. Of all his temples, Abu Simbel remains the strangest, the deepest. There, in the heart of the rock, he carved colossal statues of himself, seated before the sun, unbending, undimmed. The temple isn't just an architectural marvel, it's a message. The sun enters on only 2 days each year to illuminate his face, not just the god's face, as if to say, I am here on the level of the gods. Kadesh wasn't just a battle, it was a defining moment. Ramesses led his army himself and fell into a well-laid Hittite ambush. Accounts say he fought alone, survived miraculously, and then returned victorious. But historians doubt it. Did he truly win? No one knows. What we do know is that he wrote the story as he wanted it, published it in more than 10 temples in epic language, with scenes carved showing his chariot and horse, as if they too were divine. This wasn't just a military war, it was the first media war in history, and perhaps still one of the most successful campaigns. Nefertari, the beautiful queen, lady of his heart and crown, the only woman to receive an independent temple in his era. Inscriptions show him holding her hand, speaking to her, looking at her, as if seeing light through her eyes. But let's not be deceived. After Nefertari came others, many others. Ramesses wasn't just a husband, he was an institution. He married over 100 times and fathered more than 100 sons and daughters. One, Khemweset, became a great high priest. The others inhabited palaces, fought wars, and some died years before him. It was as if he wanted to fill the world with his family, just as he filled it with his image. 90 years of life, over 60 of them on the throne. Ramesses wasn't just a long-lived king, he cast a long shadow. Imagine his sons dying while he still ruled. Imagine his successor, Merneptah, becoming king when he was over 60, only because his father just wouldn't leave. People almost thought he was immortal, that he would only die if he himself decided to. But death, as usual, doesn't ask permission. For centuries, The debate has raged. Was he the Pharaoh of Moses? His name is mentioned in the Torah, in connection with cities of labor. His long life, status, and reign make him a strong candidate. But it's not conclusive. Proof, strangely, when the mummy was unwrapped, it was in an odd position, the arm raised, as if drowning or asking for help. No one knows, but imagination is relentless, and people love to connect the mysterious end with the ancient curse. In the 20th century, Ramesses' mummy traveled to France for treatment against fungus. There, a travel document was issued for him, stating, occupation, king deceased. Imagine, after thousands of years, the world still treats him as a king, even in death, yet he refused to become just a corpse. Perhaps Ramesses wasn't the wisest of kings, nor the most merciful, but he understood something many didn't, that eternity isn't in the body, but in the legacy. Every stone bearing his image, every story engraved, every statue standing, despite the storms, is part of this incredible plan. Ramesses wasn't just ruling Egypt, he was ruling the future, ruling us, as we tell his story, even now.